Okay, we are live, live, live. Hey guys.
Hey,
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 hey.
hey.
So y'all go ahead and come on in. We won't be on here long.
I don't know. Can't make any promises, Mill.
Well, I know. Yeah, once you start going, you're going. So
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be short, sweet, and impactful. But definitely share this feed, guys.
yeah, share the feed. Share the feed is definitely gonna be amazing. I'm so excited to have you on with me tonight.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be on. I love to play with you.
So here, so we are jumping in here. It's right around 8:05 Central Standard Time. All right. Okay, cool. So, hey, everybody, thanks so much for jumping on. Please tag somebody, share the feed, start your own watch party. It's going to be some good, well conversations. I'm super excited to have my spiritual mom, my money mentor, all that good stuff, Dr. Jewel Tankard on the line. And thanks for spending time with me for a little bit today.
Man, this is great. I look for, I love playing with you when we get together. Powerful things always happen. Life-changing things always happen. And so it's been an exciting time for you and me and a lot of people. And, Mill, we just want everybody at the end of the day, our heart is for everybody really to see people win, like in very, very huge proportions.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I asked Dr. Jill to jump on here with me tonight because, first of all, anybody who's been following me for any period of time know that one of the things that I'm very, very passionate about is education, helping families, just the same way that I was helped when I connected with Dr. Jill 8 years ago. I never knew that my life would be where it is right now. It was definitely a stretch situation. Like, I stayed stretching. I'm still stretching, But one of the things that I will say is that when every opportunity or anything that she shared with me, I immediately jumped on it without even understanding, because all I knew was she had results and I desired results. And so I'm just grateful for not allowing my analytical analysis paralysis self get in the way, because it allows so many different doors to open for me. And so we were talking earlier, and we decided to get on here to talk about becoming a change agent. So, Dr. Jewel, what exactly is a change agent?
That's such a good question. It was so cute. Mill was asking me this before, and I was like, hey, let's talk about that on the live. But first, let me just say I'm tremendously proud of you, because I think that as much as most people like to think of themselves as not being rigid and not being, slow to move, I think the average person, and doesn't mean God loves them any less, but I think the average person is probably a little slow to move and slow to adapt and slow to change. And you definitely, even though you are highly analytical, you've done an amazing job and doing what I like to call, we're in a season of rapid pivoting, right? And that's what we're in. An agent of change is just somebody who's like a firm believer that change is necessary for growth. As a matter of fact, people that don't change usually don't have the magnitude of growth that they desire or that they admire. Because you can admire huge growth, but it doesn't mean that you're changing quick enough along the way to be able to experience it. So that's pretty much the definition of it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because even in the different times and stuff that we're in, a lot of times people get stuck in a certain way. And one of the things that you used to always tell me, because I'll be like, I'm busy or I'm doing this, and you're like, well, if you're not making money, you busy on the wrong thing, what would you say to the person who feels like there's more that I want out of life? I see an opportunity that I'm really interested in, but I have all these things going on. But the reality is those things are not really producing or even making them happy. What would you say to that person?
That's so good, Mill. And as a matter of fact, I wish I had my, we'll have to look up my pen tomorrow. Mill showed me how to do this really cool thing with a whiteboard. But if I could write right now, and I've got one behind me, and I love a whiteboard. If anybody knows me, And so I don't have the, I guess I could look it up on here, but just to keep it simple, I want. But this is what I want to write down, right? So this is just a white sheet of paper. So what you have to do is write down right now. And by the way, you guys share this feed right now. Share this feed, okay? Because this is going to help a lot of people. So there's feelings versus profit. And I think that's what we have to deal with, feelings versus profit, right? So you can write down maybe all the things that help you to feel good. And this helps you to identify where your activity is, because most people don't realize that in order for me to have activity, or in order for me to have results, right? So let me put this right here. So I'm going to put results in the middle of this page. All right. So I have feelings, then I have versus profit. And then if y'all wrote down all the things that make me feel good, like eating ice cream, oh, I like it, but it's not profitable. It's not profitable for my body. It's not profitable for my energy. What is something else I like to do? I like to watch Netflix like anybody else, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's profitable. So what I have to do is write down a list of what are the things that are actually going to bring me profit? What are the things that are going to actually impact my bottom line? What's going to actually bring me cash flow versus what I actually feel like doing? And so for women in particularly, we really have to sit down and analyze this, right? Because if I just let my feelings take over, it's 8 o'clock at night, I could very well be sitting on the couch, snuggled up to my amazing chocolate man, you know, and kicking my feet up and watching Viking. That's the series that I'm watching right now, right? Or watching Black AF. I heard that was amazing. I had to catch up on that. So, you know, I could very easily take a posture of relaxing, but because I'm very goal oriented, I understand that, you know, where I put my time is where I'm going to see my results. And I also realize we are in the middle. Guys, share this feed because this is going to help a lot of people, and a lot of you really need to connect. And maybe some of you were connected before. You know what? It's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm reconnected, right? But right now we are in the middle of a huge, tremendous global shift. I get this magazine right here called Fast Company. I love it. And at the top of Fast Company, it says world-changing ideas. Now, it's interesting to me, Mill, that they didn't just say business ideas.
Right.
They didn't just say money ideas, didn't just say company ideas, organizational ideas, industry ideas. It said world-changing ideas. So if I'm going to stay relevant, right, if I'm going to stay profitable in 2020 over this next decade, how I move the last decade is probably going to look significantly different. Mm-hmm. And if I don't reconcile that and begin to align myself with relationships that understand it, you know, my good friend Dr. Medina reached out today and said, I want you to do a live and I want you to talk about change. I'm so shocked, right? Because people like her and you and me and so many other people realize, whoa, everything's changing. I don't want to be at the end of a change cycle or wealth cycle or growth cycle. Let me get there before. Dr. Cindy Trim said something really interesting a couple of weeks ago. I had her on my prayer call. She said, you know, traditionally the church, African Americans at large, not all, have been 20 to 30 years behind. So how do we fix that? We fix it by becoming very aggressive about educating ourselves. And Mill, you know, I know you're very aggressive about educating yourself. I'm very aggressive about educating. I am aggressive about taking advantage of the best technologies, the best resources, the best places, anything that has the best. I don't have on any eye makeup right now because I had, it's called Forever Young eye surgery last week, 20/20 vision. I think I was reading a magazine and I had it in there and I called and I said, tell me about this. And I took advantage of it. I had to pay out of my own pocket, but I'm obsessed with getting the best of the best. And that's what this platform, Mill, that you and I have connected to, and those of you that are watching, you have the opportunity to be a part of the best that the world has to offer, that's going to bring you profit, that will also support your feelings.
Oh, that's dope. I love that. Like, I had to make a note of that, feelings versus profit, because if you think about it, even a couple of months ago, you were walking with me through my feelings versus my profit.
But this is why I love you. This is why I love you, Mill, because you were able to reconcile. These are my feelings. This is where my profit is. And I knew you had huge dreams, you know, mansion, cars. You want to do things in the community. You want to impact. You want to, you know, if we let you, you go buy a whole building just for the youth. Like, you had these gigantic goals and dreams, but your feelings were becoming a barrier to you achieving those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just think that's really good, because like, even in this space and people that are tuning in and listening, sometimes it's stuff that you don't necessarily want to do, that you have to step out and do for that season, you know, and it's not just with this opportunity, but a lot of things. Like, I know people who don't want to work because they want to own their own business, but for this season you need to work. You know what I'm saying? So just like this, like, it was really to the point for me, I got to a point of maintaining. I got comfortable. And anybody who knows me, when I get comfortable, it's like trying to move like a brick wall, you know, but I had to really step back and say, I want way more than this.
Yeah.
And whatever it's gonna take, that's what I have to do. And I have a passion for helping people. I have a new revelation on residual. I understand that residual alongside helping people creates freedom, you know? And so it was just really, really eye-opening. And I thank you for, first of all, two things I thank you for. Number one, I thank you for sharing this opportunity of Forex education with me 4 years ago, because you could have kept it to yourself. You were about seeing the next person come alongside with you. And it really put us in position for what the world is dealing with today. You know, like, if I would not have said yes, I can only imagine what I would be looking at. The blessing is my life has not changed one bit. You know, some people are, you know, trying to figure out how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage, or when is that stimulus check coming, or I got to get unemployment, or I can't go to work because of XYZ and it's affecting my family. And so I didn't experience a lot with the first recession in 2018. I was just getting out of college, and, you know, I didn't experience a lot, but I heard a lot, and I just knew I don't want to deal with that, because all I knew is y'all said these cycles happen every 10 to 12 years. So I'm like, okay, let me listen. Let me be a student. Let me talk to people who have my answer, and not to people who don't know anything about that space, because I could have easily taken what you shared with me back to someone who's never been in that space, and it could have deterred me, versus listening to the person that is walking in the space that I desire to go, you know. So thank you for sharing it with me. And then number two, thank you for always calling and making me give you my daily activity, even when good for everybody listening. At the end of the day, you definitely want to have people you're accountable to.
Like, but, you know, you pursued it too. You pursued it. And so somebody might be watching this, well, she ain't did that to me. You pursued it.
I did.
You called.
Right.
You said, this is my activity. So because that was a pattern that you established of pursuing success, it made me pay attention. So when you did a pullback, I was like, what's the matter with you?
Right.
But so I think that's the thing that we have to understand. You have to be willing to pursue. And sometimes if you don't stay hungry enough, you stop pursuing the very thing that God connected you to or put you to, because you got too comfortable, you got too smart, you got too much success. I love this. One of my financial mentors, Christopher Terry, says this all the time. He said, Jewel, you better stay the smartest dumb person.
Mm.
In other words, stay stupid.
Mm.
Because sometimes people get so smart, they stop pursuing and they stop asking questions. Because one thing that I've noticed, whether it's Christopher Terry, Kim Kiyosaki, people that I consider to be my financial mentors, they're not just willingly like, you know, even Lawrence has helped me tremendously with crypto. He told me, he called me yesterday. He said, or was it yesterday or Saturday? He said, okay, you need to buy Tezos and OX. It's a crypto. I didn't even have time to research. I got on my Coinbase and bought it, screenshot it, and sent it back to him because I wanted him to know I honor what you tell me, because my crypto portfolio is up because of you and because of Nick Gomez. So I wanted them to know that I'm paying attention.
Right.
When you talk to me, I don't know what nobody else doing, but I'm listening. And I'm sending you the results that I'm listening, because I want you to know I'm serious about this. I'm not just like, oh yeah, I want to know what to buy. I'll find out what it means later. Today, something else happened. Mill, I don't know if you had a chance to look. I posted on my Instagram. Carrie called like, oh man. I was like, what? He said, your land, the lot you bought, that I called you, told you to buy, bought it sight unseen, trusted the grace on his life, right? My real estate portfolio is up because of him. He said they building right next to your land.
I saw that. That's
huh?
That's game changer.
But Mill, so I said, okay, will you do a video for me? He said, I'm about to do a video right now, because he FaceTimed, let me see it. I was like, oh, I'll do a video. I posted it. And so my point is that had I not listened about that lot of land, now they're building next to it. So whatever they're doing, it just took my value up.
Yeah.
I still ain't had a chance to look up Tezos and OX, but I trust Lawrence, right? And then I make myself accountable. See, here's the thing about mentorship that sometimes people forget. You can only receive from the mentor to the measure that you lean in.
Mm.
So if you start backing up slowly, you can't think, okay, wait a minute. Your real estate portfolio and your crypto portfolio is bigger than mine. That's why you're a mentor. Right. So I need to be leaning in. I can't be talking about, oh, why they ain't call. No, you better call and see, hey, what you looking at over there? What's them charts looking like over there? So at the end of the day, I said all that to say, those of you that are watching, that are on here, you need to stay hungry.
That's good. Now I have one last question. Let's talk about learning. Because one thing about you that I really love is that, just like even with the example that you gave, you didn't know everything. So even when we heard about I Am Mastery Academy, you had experience with Forex in the past, but you knew it was something that you should be involved in. You didn't understand. You just took the leap. A lot of times people feel like, I need to learn first before I plug, because I think people look at the academy as a money-making machine or a get rich quick, but it's really an educational platform. And I feel like people changing their mindset, the byproduct has the potential to be great profit if you commit to being a student. So one of the things that I would say that I admire about you is that you're always learning. Like sometimes I don't be wanting to learn, but you be sending me stuff to read, and I'm like, I don't want to learn today. But, you know, being where you are, like a self-made millionaire, talk about that to the next person about why they should always be open to learning new things, especially in this space that could, you know, set them up. Once they learn this skill set, they'll have this for the rest of their life. Like I tell people, I'm gonna be 120 about to ascend with Jesus, still with my iPhone getting some trades, like for the rest of my life, period. So what would you say to the person? Because a lot of people look at the opportunity about how much is it gonna cost me, how much money will I make, versus what can I learn that's gonna empower me for my future goals.
That's good, Mill. Great question. Steve Harvey wrote that book, Jump, phenomenal book. And I'm about to do this virtual book club. I think we're going to launch it next Tuesday, called The Big Stretch. And I think, and this is why reading is so important and your squad is so important. And some of you need to connect with Camille tonight because you need to get around people that provoke your thought process, that make you think, that make you figure it out, that make you go back and read again, that make you go back and listen again, that make you go back and say, I don't quite understand that. Wait a minute, hold on. So what was that? Okay, hold on. So what was this? So you really do, because everybody, it doesn't matter what your learning style is, right? Most people like to learn where somebody's hands-on, sitting down with them. And then there are other people that can learn, virtual or just by reading a book. But the thing is, I think if you get hungry, I think more than what your learning style is, you got to just get hungry and you have to become a learner and an earner. Like, in other words, while I'm still learning, I'm moving into action. Because if I keep waiting for the perfect moment, if I keep waiting and saying, as soon as this happens, then I'll do this, or as soon as I comprehend, and unfortunately, traditional school messed us up, which is why I love Montessori so much. I'll probably have a Montessori one day because it made them figure it out. It made them, answer questions. Like it wasn't just about taking a test. It was about getting with another group of students, and you guys sat there and you asked each other questions. Well, that doesn't make sense. So what would work? Well, what about this? Or what about that? It was like throwing out all these uninformed or unformed ideas and bouncing it off of you and bouncing it off of you and bouncing it off of you. And that's what we do every day. We are teaching people how to trade. And the reason we stay in this space is because Camille's brilliant by herself. Jessica's brilliant by herself. Sharon is brilliant by herself. But imagine if you all come together and you say, okay, I think Naz is going to be a buy. Well, why do you think Naz is going to be a buy? Well, on Bloomberg this morning, they said the unemployment was down, blah, 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 blah. And somebody else says, yeah, but Naz's moves just with the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is bullish. So that's why I think Naz is going to be bullish. So unemployment is down. So that means the economy is going in the right direction. I'm just using this example. S&P 500 is going up. It's bullish. And then the last person says, look at the chart. It hit the bottom. So what do we do when it hits the bottom? It buys. So now you had three people who had three different accounts to why Naz was bullish and why Naz is going to be a buy. Thus, we all jumping in the buy. We hit take profit. Oh my gosh, we all hit profit together. It's amazing. Where else can you do this at? So when you look at your thought leaders and your futurists of today, these are people that if you look at their circles, they're with thinkers, they're with readers, they're with people that are hungry, they're with people that are students, they're with people that keep asking the questions. When you look at a Seth Bernstein, who's a billionaire, who's now the financial mentor to my financial mentor, Christopher Terry, and I'm listening to him. Chris sends me some stuff to listen to him, and I'm like, no wonder he's your mentor. His thought, he's a thinker. So if you really want to be up on this next decade, if you want to be the trailblazer, the forerunner, the history maker, the billionaire, the millionaire, the person that makes social impacts, then you got to make financial impact, because you cannot change a culture, a society, an industry without profit. Right? And so I'm just going to encourage you guys that are watching, reach out to her. Maybe you've been watching her and sitting on the sidelines and saying, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. It's time for you to get in the game.
Yeah, time to get in the game. It's like, what do you say after that, So yeah, if you're tuning in and you're like, look, I'm really ready to go to the next level. I'm ready to become a student. I'm ready to just jump. Like I had to just jump. I didn't know what that looked like. And the last thing I'll say before we wrap, for those of you who are listening who may have gone to college, I went to college. I got my master's degree as well. And then when I plugged into college, right, I paid thousands of dollars to entrust those professors to equip me to get a job in that field, paying student loan, got student loans, but then got out of school to not even be able to get a job in my field right away because I didn't have the experience. But then I ended up getting a job with someone who didn't go to college, who had experience in that same field. So I got the job just because I had the degree, but they got the job because they had the experience, and we making the same amount of money, but they're really making more money than me because I'm paying loans back and they're paying nothing back, at the end of the day. But in this space, if you take advantage of this space, if you commit to being a student, not only are you paying for Wealth University to learn this skill set, once you apply what you're learning, you're putting yourself in position to earn while you learn. It's no other space that you can cheat off of your friends test without getting suspended. You know what I'm saying? We get to cheat and everybody win, and so it's just a great space of empowerment because, like I said before, this is a skill set that you will have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, I believe I Am Master Academy is going to be around for a long time. But if Chris and Isis decided, like, man, this is a great run, we don't want to do this no more, shut it down. The person that took advantage of this education to learn the skill set and be serious about the education, your income and your flow does not stop because you learned the skill set that can definitely change your life. And so I'm a student always in this space, and my mission and my goal is to help as many families as possible, to be able to take control of the economy in your home. It doesn't matter who president, who governor, who mayor. I love when President Trump talked because the market moving, we making money, at the end of the day. So he can talk all he want. He can tweet all he want. I can sit there and be mad, but I'm excited because the market's moving and we getting the bag.
That's it. That's good. Andrew said, hey, Andrew.
Hey, Drew.
Most degrees don't always equal more success. Leaders are looking for thinkers and readers. That's exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah.
It's about becoming a thinker. And the best way to become a thinker is to talk to other thinkers.
Absolutely.
Because when you talk to them, you like, dog, you making me think.
Right. But that's a good thing. So you don't become complacent and 10 years down the road, you still at point A when you could have been at Z, So anyway, we'll keep going on and on and on. But thank you so much for tuning in. Dr. Jewel, thank you for spending, a couple minutes with me. For those of you who are watching and interested in getting plugged in, if you're watching and someone shared this feed, please get back with that person. Let them know that you're ready to get started. You're ready to make that leap to learn something new that can change your life and can change your family's life. If you're watching on my live and you're ready to get plugged in, shoot me an inbox. I'll be happy to help you get connected and happy to help you get ready to start changing your life and the life of your family. So thank y'all so much for jumping on and have a good night. God bless.